My name is Dr. Erin Thompson. I'm one of the equine veterinarians for Moore Equine. I've been in practice since 2012. I'm an avid rider myself, and I enjoy the profession very, very much. So horses were sort of in my DNA. My mom was a riding instructor, so I was born literally, I had my first horse before I can remember. So my whole life has been involved with horses, and it's been a passion that I have not gotten rid of. I actually used to work here at Attaché Stables with Ben's father, Jonathan Aslin, and rode as well at home. And when I had the opportunity, I went to an undergrad in Guelph, Ontario, deciding whether I liked sports or whether I liked veterinary medicine. I actually ended up becoming a human chiropractor and worked in professional sports, PGA, basketball, NFL football, et cetera. And then I was working in Calgary at the time that the University of Calgary opened a new veterinary faculty. And I decided that I was going to merge, both of my interests and go back to school. I went on then to specialize in sports medicine and rehabilitation, and here I am today, working with some of the best horses in the world, and it's a privilege. You'd think after work that you would go and do something else, but no, that's when you switch gears and get on yourself. But I think I have 3 horses. I compete both actually in some Western disciplines, as well as having a horse that I'm still able to jump and do some cross-country jumping and still getting that fix. But I think it is really important because it allows me to be empathetic. It helps me understand, some of my clients' needs from a rider's perspective. I even sometimes am envisioning how the horse feels when I'm watching them during a lameness exam. But understanding tack equipment, horse personalities, I think makes me a suitable partner with my riders and trainers. So with me specifically with horses, I always think of myself as having like karma. And so for me, it's there's just no cutting corners, and my ethos of like, if a horse needs a treatment at 2 a.m., you do it at 2 a.m. Like there's no cutting corners, and there's something that's very valuable that, makes you feel good about doing well by them. The pride that we all take in the care that we give them, I think builds our own character. So I think the value system for me is hard work. Albert Clay, Jonathan, all those people that influenced us were that there's pride to do something right, and it'll pay off in the long run. Horses, they're a big, strong animal, and once in a while they'll show you how strong they are when they don't want to do something. So most of the time it's a privilege that they're allowing us to do, what we would like them to do, and encouraging them to enjoy it. And so if they are not able to speak, then we've got to go by different body behaviors and different, looking at their mannerisms as to whether or not they're comfortable. And so it really makes us the stewards of their welfare. And so I think, from any different perspective, including, how comfortable they are under saddle is critical, and that it behooves us to take that responsibility seriously. I think most people today, I would venture to say it usually is an interaction that happens at the point of buying a saddle. And so I think but then you've got a little bit of bias where the person is interested in you, hoping that that everything will fit, what they have offer for sale will fit the horse. And also that's it, that's a one point of service. You buy the saddle and it's going to fit your horse for the rest of time. But what they fail to, maybe teach as much is that the animal's body changes a lot. And we know that from some of our scientific research that we have. The animals, even a normal, mature athletic animal can change over the course of a season. And especially a young animal growing and developing will change a lot over the course of their growing phase and getting into sport. So change of the back means that the saddle needs to be, considered. But as I've had the opportunity to actually study sports medicine and rehabilitation during my residency, there's actually a growing body of research on the topic. And it stems from not just horse performance, but also horse welfare. So the FEI, of course, is like an example of an organization that's very supportive of this concept, and I think we all are behind it. So understanding that saddle fit has a big role in terms of horses like gait movement, the ability to build muscle and help them develop their backs is really critical for prevention of injury as well as performance enhancement. So saddle fit is, without a doubt, it's been shown to be part of that whole package, and it's something that needs more and more attention to even be standard of care for any horseman or horsewoman. There's going to be things that are tried and true that have been done for centuries that work, which is why we continue to do it. However, all of us, whether it's like introducing AI software into my medical chart notes or, using some of the innovations that we have to improve some of the concepts that we have in place, we'd be crazy not to go with the flow. Like historically, of course, we're going to do things based on tradition that have worked. But as technology evolves in other, areas of our world, seeing, through a lens of how could that advance equine welfare, we're going to constantly want to be pushing that. And I think, something like this particular technology that allows us to saddle fit in a very accurate way, what I'm very interested in is that becoming a new standard of care that we can easily implement. It's, time efficient and user helpful or user friendly, that it can be done numerous times a year. So I'm serially looking at horses, and we should be serially looking at saddle fit as part of it, no different than a farrier coming along every 4 to 6 weeks to evaluate their feet. This should just be part of the whole package. And really all of sports medicine with horses, or any type of use of horses, it's a team. It's the person feeding, the person riding, the farrier, the vet. Like everybody needs to work together, and this will be another piece of the puzzle that can be added on a very regular basis in my mind in the future. Well, I think the possibilities are huge. I think that it's, as I mentioned earlier, some of this research has already been foundationally made by some of the top lameness, most respected, authors of the lameness textbook, like Sue Dyson, for example. These are tried and true things that we know. This is going to be a new application that will allow it to be done with more user reliability, more accurately, and hopefully to get to the point where it's done on a more common basis. So I think the app is, it's becoming seamless. I think it's going to become just a everyday, every barn, something that will be used across the board. But I have every bet that that's what'll happen. Well, I think from my work, I certainly get to deal with owners that care a lot, and they just need guidance. And so I feel like as their vet, I'm there to help disseminate a lot of information. There's so much information, as everybody knows, in our current world of like easy access, Googling this, Googling that. But helping steer somebody in the right direction is often a role that I play. So an app like that, like this, in my mind, helps us give me objective data when clients might not even be aware that it's something they should consider. And so having objective data to show somebody will be a very, very easy way as an education tool to then, adapt the saddle or make suggestions. So, objective visuals talk and have lots to say. So I think that'll be a very helpful piece. From there, once owners understand that it's something that they can visually see the importance of it, I think, again, it will not need to sell itself. It'll sell itself. It'll be easy to show owners that it does matter and that it does have an impact on their horse because they'll be able to see it. Well, to be honest, saddle fit is one thing, but I'm interested in it actually as a measure of, it's an objective measure of conditioning as well. Like when we're putting effort into appropriate riding, really diligent, like the time that the horses are ridden, how the quality of the riding, the use of our water treadmill, like other things. This will be actually a very nice tool for us to be measuring progress in terms of strength and conditioning. So I actually think it's an interesting other addition that it'll have for me. Or other application, rather. So what I'm excited about with this particular app is that the people behind it, some of them in this room, are really, really dedicated to the development of something that's going to be scientifically, valid, so to speak. So it'll hold up in the test of, use by professionals and saddle fitters and owners alike eventually, but it's going to be put through enough rigorous testing that we're really standing behind what it can do and what it's going to serve. What advice would I give other horse women or horsemen? I think it's patience. I think all of us are hardworking people. We're very dedicated, but slowing down, that's what I tell myself all the time, is I have a good transmission, so I'm quick between horses, I work hard, I move quickly, but when I'm actually with the horse, that's my time to slow down, my energy slows down, and it allows me to work with the horse, gives them the ability to do things that they don't necessarily always enjoy, but I think slowing down and just enjoying that moment of slowing down, because the rest of the world is very busy, so it's a privilege to take a breath and enjoy our time with our horses.